Join us as we continue our epic 5,700 kilometer northern RV adventure, rolling down lonely gravel highways, exploring river canyons, abandoned cabins, crossing a major northern river, and spending days in a historic community on the banks of the mighty Mackenzie. Morning. Looks like the weather's improving to be a beautiful day here. Weather's warming. I think we're gonna head out. We're just packing up. I think it's a couple hour drive at least on gravel. We have to cross I believe it's the Liard River on a ferry. That should be interesting. And then from the looks of the weather, we're supposed to be in for a bit of a warm spell. So we got our share of mud. Now I think we're gonna be in for some dust. We are having problems getting this front slide out, bedroom slide out in. A little bit of road grind probably doesn't help. Move up the seals and tracks and hopefully that helps. Okay, try that. Fire up the generator there to get enough power. It's just barely in. You can still see it's touching the seal here, but just barely. Our first stop is only a couple minutes up the road, where we do a short hike in and get some views of an epic canyon along the Trout River. We ended up with some potholes. Wild strawberries. Awesome. Well, is this the hiking trail or the viewing platform down here?
Well, they all had straight ahead arrows.
Here's the viewing platform up here. Looks like we're on the right trail. Very little signage here. Wow. Beautiful. Look at that clear water. I just can't believe it. This dramatic canyon carves its way through ancient limestone and dolomite. Yesterday we spent the day just upstream from here, discovering waterfalls, fossils and coral, caves, and crystal formations. If you haven't yet, check out our previous episode. We'll link it in the description below. Well, that was another cool spot in the canyon to fly. Girls are heading up to the truck. They're up ahead. I think it's time to make some miles here. And one thing I did forget to do was I forgot to fuel out of my slip tank into the pickup while we were camping. It takes a little while. Like I have to siphon it with the shaker hose. I'm gonna wait to see how far we can make it. If I start getting really low, I may have to just pull over and do it. Cashy. You made her. Oh, was he? Kept her squirrel, buddy. All right, we're hitting the road. Definitely seeing more potholes today. Other side of the road looks better. These roads are in pretty good shape. Well, they were in pretty good shape the other night, but this amount of rain they got. Other side of the road was smoother, and then traffic had to come and take it over. I just kept driving on that side of the road if they would switch sides. Looking at my mirror, there's no dust. So when we're traveling gravel roads like the Dempster Highway and various long stretches of gravel, why does it seem like the road is always better on the wrong side? Maybe it's the shape the bumps take and the washboard and the potholes from impact tires of vehicles. Maybe it's just the fact that quite often we hit it with bad luck and a little more traffic went the direction we went right after a rainstorm and made the potholes worse. But here I am, smoother on this side. Look at all the potholes on the other side. I have proof. Whoa! I don't know what this road surface material is. I've never seen it before. All these pullouts seem to have an old cabin.
Maybe it's just, yeah, for old travelers way back to...
It is turning out to be a warm day. I think it's like 23 Celsius, 75 Fahrenheit. Flies are coming back out. Just gonna show you guys the inside of this cabin for a sec. Whole bunch of names. Whew. The usual rat and marten infestation, squirrels. It looks like old benches or an old bed or something. Not much else in here. Windows are gone. Yeah, it's pretty old. Long in the past, something was going on there. I love seeing these old places. Once the roofs are gone on them, though, they don't last long. That's when the real rot happens and they start collapsing. Try and get these mirrors so I can see a little more out of them. Hate not being able to see my trailer in the mirrors. Like using expensive washer fluid, but it's faster and easier. What's this here? I saw an Enbridge oil pumping station sign there. I never knew Enbridge had any pipelines up here. I don't know where it would come from or where it would go. Like Norman Wells has oil, but I didn't think that it was being produced anymore. Like I thought that was just from the war, but maybe there's some still. 18 million bucks for this bridge replacement.
This is the new one. Just kidding.
This town is called Checkpoint.
Oh, it's a town.
This big town.
Big town. Big.
Big timber around here for the NWT. It's warm. So this is the Liard River ferry crossing. What does that sign mean? No ice road? It's gotta be. I'm gonna pull in here for a sec. You got somebody on board?
What? Oh yeah, I think so.
He's just coming off the ferry. Well, we pulled over into a pullout here before the ferry crossing, and our plan was to fly the drone, but it won't take off because it's an aircraft restricted zone.
See any aircrafts?
I'm gonna film this. I don't see any aircraft either. Steep approach.
That's very steep.
Afternoon.
Hello.
A Polaris boat, Laura just pointed out. Should have a Honda engine on it though. So this is a big river, Liard River. It starts in the Yukon, flows into BC, and then into the NWT. So it joins the Mackenzie River just downstream of here at...
Any more vehicles coming or just us?
Just us, maybe. So this ferry crossing is again another ice crossing in the winter from late November to May. Pretty much all the ferry crossings in the north here are ice roads, ice crossings in the wintertime. It is hard to believe that these big rivers with this much current freeze over in the winter.
Enough for semi.
Enough for a bunch of Super B tankers and huge amounts of freight and semi trucks to cross. But I think what they do is they start spraying it with water, and they do all kinds of things to get the ice built thicker. They plow it like 100 feet wide, keep the snow off of it so it freezes deeper. There's a lot that actually goes into making an ice crossing. We're pointed that way, and our destination is there.
Kind of cool how they approach them. Hey, they always just keep their boat positioned exactly with the...
It is really cool. Must take a bit to get good at this.
Yeah.
It must be pretty deep right here.
It must be.
It must dredge it in order for this ferry to be able to come in sideways like this. This is interesting. I've never seen this done before where it's sideways.
So, yeah,
There we go. We're swinging around. You getting hot?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Look at that, hey? It's quite the maneuverability. Yeah, it must take a while to get good at this. Look at that, it's lined right up. See him, he always watches the back. See him in the mirror. Yeah, steep approaches to this one. Or if that's an airport up there. Aeroporto. Well, if there's a car wash,
We'll set aside 4 hours to go find something to do while you're washing.
no, I would just give it a quick one. I was gonna wait to Fort Nelson, but if I could just do around the doors and windows and, you know, maybe if it's a decent one, I'd do a little bit more maybe. If it's not too costly, $1 a minute like Inuvik with
Yeah, with like a
with half a gallon a minute. Yeah, one thing I found with car and truck washes in remote communities in the north is they're usually very expensive, like $1 a minute, and there's very, very low volume, so it takes forever. So it's very costly and time consuming. So I have a hard time refraining from washing all this crap off the trailer, but what I did up north in Inuvik was I just did the bare minimum to get the worst of the grime off around the doors and windows, and just kind of left the rest. We'll see what happens. Laura doesn't believe that I can just do a quick wash. She always thinks it's a 4-hour ordeal. Sometimes it is. There was one RV wash in Alaska at one of the RV campgrounds we stayed at, and it was just a fixed rate. I think it was $60 US. It wasn't cheap. they had a horrible low pressure pressure washer. And I said, well, it's a flat rate, I might as well just take as long as it takes. So I was there for a few hours. And then the owners of the park complained when I went inside afterwards. They're like, you took forever. And I was like, well, like there was nobody lined up for it. Well, the roads from the Yellowknife Highway over to here were generally pretty good. The gravel section was pretty smooth. There were some potholes from the recent rain today on that section. Even the seal-coated sections were fairly smooth actually until maybe 40 kilometers before Fort Simpson. It was a little rougher again. Mackenzie Valley Winter Road, that's the one that goes way north. I don't know if I'll take that one. There's an all-weather road that goes as far as Wrigley, but it's a couple hundred kilometers and it's a lot of gravel to rattle up, and I don't know what there is to see up there. Side by side, whipping down the road, of course. Why can't we do that at home? Well, we can. So many of these roads are busted up like this. Fort Simpson is a historic river community in the Northwest Territories located where the Liard and Mackenzie rivers meet. With a population of about 1,200, it serves as a key hub for the Daicho region and is known for its indigenous heritage, river travel, and access to the Nahanni National Park Reserve. No car wash here. Oh well. We'll get by if it's not. I don't really want to drive around looking for it. Well, there's the river right there.
Yeah, keep coming. Just don't crank it too hard into like the right. The branches are still rubbing, but at least they're just spindly birch ones. They're not gonna hurt anything. I can't believe how unlevel this is. Yeah, now you can start swinging your butt end around towards the road. Just watch your front end there when you come around. I know, I don't know how else we can do this. Unless you were to like come right up and over this hump.
Yeah, the truck's gonna go in the bush, so I'm
gonna have to block it like 6 inches.
Well, we're set up here more or less at NWT Territorial Campground at Fort Simpson. Oh, there's some horseflies. With hot weather comes horseflies. This place is, I don't know, a little bit ghetto. I hate to complain. Don't want to complain. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I would just say that it's probably the most rundown territorial or provincial campground I've been to. And we drove through and a lot of the sites were overgrown, really tight, uneven ground, like big uphills, just terrible approaches. And this one here is actually probably the best one we could find. It's a pull through, but it's probably hard to tell with the GoPro. But if you look over here, it slopes off pretty steep, like way off down here. So we backed in, and luckily the tires on this side sunk into soft ground, because this side would have been super high otherwise. So as you can see from the rut, we sunk down 3 inches or so, and then if you look over there, we're on 3 or 4 inches of blocks. So we would have been in pretty rough shape. We would have had to have like 6-7 inches of blocks in order to get it level. It just kind of worked out for us. But anyway, that's my take on the Fort Simpson Territorial Campground for you, in case you guys are wondering. If you have small campers and stuff, it's probably fine. But it's got hookups. Same thing as always. No water, no sewer. They have water in, for camping, just for your dishes and stuff, but you're not supposed to fill up RVs as usual. But they do have power, just like the rest of them. I'll show you guys how I fuel up from the slip tank. It's pretty simple. I haven't fueled up out of this tank this trip yet, but it's time to start using some of this fuel, and my guess is fuel's a little more expensive up here. So I got one of those shaker siphon hoses. Use that built pressure when it's hot. So if you didn't see in some of my previous videos, this slip tank holds 100 US gallons or 378 liters. So it gives me 2 additional tanks in addition to what's in the truck, 180 liters. So I think I have 560 liters on board when I'm full here and in the pickup tank in the truck. So it gives me quite a bit of range, 15 to 1800 kilometers, around 1100 miles give or take with the trailer on, and it'll give me double that with the trailer off. So probably 3,500 kilometers, somewhere around 22 to 2,500 miles range when I'm not towing. So remote areas up in the north where it's hard to get fuel or fuel is very expensive, it's nice to have this because you can top up. Down south or larger centers where it's cheaper, and then you're also not worried about range and running out and that sort of thing when you're in remote locations. One thing I have to do when I'm filling this, it can take 20 minutes to half an hour depending on how much fuel's in the truck tank. One thing I've learned that's very important is to set a timer on my phone so I don't end up with a big fuel spill. Because you go and do other things and you get sidetracked and you forget. We're at 15 minutes, we'll see where we're at. Let that fill for a bit. Well, my fuel alarm just went off. It's almost full already. Normally it takes 20 minutes to half an hour. It must be the warm day and the fuel's flowing good or something. Plus when the tank's fuller, it seems to flow a little faster. It's cooking out here. It's like 28 degrees. Got to listen carefully for the fuel to come up the neck. Okay. Let that drain out. There she is. So that took about 20 minutes. It's really not that bad of a way to fuel. You know, you can get those transfer pumps. I have a 12-volt pump. You know, it's a great big bulky thing that sticks up. Then I worry about the trailer swinging over when I jackknife it and hitting the pump. There's those Milwaukee transfer pumps. I've been thinking about getting those battery operated ones. I've heard they're pretty good, but then it's just another bulky item you got to take with you. This siphon hose is super simple and cheap. And I mean, if you're fueling up on the road in the middle of the day, it's a little slow. But if you're sitting at camp, you know, like I did, you just shake the hose, get her flowing, and go do something else. Oh, I put them in the back. Fix it. Everything rattles loose. So San Bernardino to Fort Simpson was 152. 630 kilometers from Fort Simpson to Yellowknife. So I had, I think, 80 kilometers left, so would have had just over 700 kilometers off that tank on the way here. Well, it's not too bad. I was getting a little bit better mileage than usual. High school? Is that a jail?
I think high school jail.
The RCMP? Huge building down there.
Liquor store, babe.
Oh, might have to get some cold beer.
Fort Simpson beverages. Hardware store.
What's a Unity store?
It's a hardware store.
Airplanes. Beaver and 185, I think. Another airplane down there. So we got goose flying service. Oh, there's a dog. There's an airplane down there. Hey doggy. Hi. There's like 3 airlines out of here, just on the river alone. So South Nahanni. Got a twin otter down here. Wow. You must get some serious passengers out of here. So I think this is the Mackenzie River now. The Yard River joins just upstream, but we'll find out pretty quick. Look at the size of that monster. That's a big river. Simpson Air float docks. So down there we got a 185 and a beaver. This is just on the river, let alone the airport. It's actually a fairly busy little spot for aviation. The Northern.
It's not good.
Washers and dryers, stoves, regular old stove on sale for $11.50. A little bit of everything in here. Bicycles over there. This gives you an idea what a northern store looks like. Produce is pretty small. We pay $5.99 for that. Basically $5 a pound. We pay $5.99 for that.
Yeah, either 5 or 6.9.
What was it? 17 bucks for just over a kilogram of ground beef. A little 120 saw. 600 bucks. I just happened to sell those, and last I checked they were around 300. They might be a bit more now. Propane, $18.99. $5.69.
Kind of ice.
Why don't you get a jumbo freezer?
Ritz crackers. $7.09. 11 bucks for a frozen pizza. We pay about half of that. So eggs are $6.50. That's not that much. Yeah, some things aren't that expensive, but other things are. 12 bucks a jug for milk.
Look at piece here.
Yeah. So bacon's not too bad. $8. 36 for 24. 12 pack. Fort Simpson golf course. It's actually hard to believe they have a golf course. The population of 1,200. Yeah. My ball goes 2 feet and my club goes 100 feet. Airstrip. Got a grass strip down there maybe. Log buildings. Snowmobile. You ever see an EV charging station? Those fuel tanks are full of diesel, and that's what powers your EV. We just stopped by here a few minutes ago. You want to go again? They got cold beer there. People in the liquor store were actually friendly.
Yeah, they were.
The customers and the lady that worked there.
Yeah.
Church. We'll have to come to the visitor center tomorrow.
There's a book house.
Look at the size of that teepee.
That's giant.
So what is this place?
Well, just don't spill it. How about?
Hey.
Yeah, you're gonna spill it trying to keep it away from Jason.
And I only spilled one small cracker.
You're just like a dog trying to keep his food
Don't make her
away.
spill it.
Jason.
Well, I'm gonna call it a night early tonight, 10:30. Look how dark it is out. Good night.
Good night, my love.
Good night, Miss Whitney.
One night.
Oh, nice big bed. Morning. Just waking up in Fort Simpson here. NWT. Gonna take this wild dog for a walk. Smoke moved in. Wind must have shifted. Let's see it out there. Visitor center opens up at 10 o'clock this morning. I'm just waiting for that to open. We're gonna head over there. See what there is to see. There's a lot of stuff you can do, a lot of activities you can do. outside of Fort Simpson, you can fly out to Nahanni National Park. A lot of beautiful country in the mountains with all those floatplanes you saw in the river there. Anyway, we're gonna try to make the best of it. There's another trip we can do where the road goes further north up the Mackenzie Valley. It's a gravel road. I think it goes 200 and some kilometers up to a place called Wrigley. There's another ferry crossing on the Mackenzie River. Most of that road's on the opposite side of the river. But the ferry only operates from 9 to 11 a.m. and then it opens up again at 2 p.m. It operates till, I think, 8 o'clock. So it gives us kind of a narrower window if we're going to drive up there. 230 kilometers each way, we could probably do it. But if you're going to catch the earlier crossing, it's quite a drive to get there. So we would have to get up a little earlier in order to get there. So that has some viewpoints along the way. It's quite a drive though for a day. If we're going to try to do a few things around Fort Simpson too. So we'll figure it out as it comes. As I was saying, this park is a little under-maintained. I mean, not to complain, it's still, a decent place to stay. We had one site that kind of worked for us, and luckily that was available. It's not too busy of a park, kind of like a lot of the other ones. But one thing I really do like is they all have these kitchen areas that you can use. I think you got to pay a little extra for them. Maybe locked up. Yeah, but look inside there. There's a table area, wood stove. So on a cold day, it would be a great place. But outside, they have benches and a fire. It's really nice. Look at that fire ring and then playground right there. So the parks do have a lot to offer. I gotta say that. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of these sites aren't very level. Like the approach into this one is quite steep. Some RVs actually might bottom out on this hill going in. It's fairly long site once you get in, but the approach isn't much good. And it's kind of it's a bit of a sharp corner getting in there too if you spin around and look at it. There is some pull-through sites like this one. That wouldn't be long enough for us. This one here would be number 24. It's not too sharp of a corner. That's the problem with a lot of pull-through sites is they have like a 90, they go off at about a 45 and then they do another 45 back to the road. So you have a 90-degree corner halfway through, and if you got a longer rig like ours, you get in there and there's trees on the inside of the corner and it's fairly narrow. You can't make the corner without hitting the trees, so we end up having to back into a lot of them. This one here, 25, would probably work for us. Might be a little tight to make the corner. It's a nice long pull through. Shower facilities are over here. We haven't used them yet because we shower in our rig, but temporarily closed. Most of these parks look like they have fairly decent shower facilities. I think there was a comment online about them being closed due to flooding here in the past. The Visitor Information Center. Let's go see what we can find. That looks good.
Like your coffee's sweet if you don't.
So we came up here. That's where the that's Hay River. We went to the waterfalls. Went up Yellowknife. Came back down. Now we're going over here.
So
and we're right here.
But why are we going up instead of down? Because that's where we're
So yeah, we're gonna come back.
We're gonna come back down this way.
The water that we're slamming with like the little waterfall.
Cool. I forgot about that.
Wow. Big place. Oh, Wolverine. I used to wrestle with these.
But Jason, feel their fur and also the wings.
Pretty soft, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Fort Simpson, 24 kilometers northwest of Mackenzie River.
Trading post. Bunch of traps on the wall.
Into Rupert. It's beautiful.
Ice bridge, so you guys just fly in, freight during the ice when the ice bridge is out.
Yeah, we have a helicopter, so most people have two vehicles.
So where do most people go from here when they want to get out and go to a larger center? They go to Yellowknife, Fort Nelson, down that way, or Edmonton?
Edmonton, wow, crazy.
Yeah. I might not make it through here if I don't get to wash my truck off. There was supposed to be possibly a pressure washer here, a car wash, but we don't see any sign of it. Well, the winds have shifted and the smoke's coming today, and there's the Liard and Mackenzie Rivers that right there, but you can't even see across them. You can't even see the cut bank on the other side. So this is kind of restricting our visibility and our sightseeing today. Baseball fields. Oh wow, they have big planes coming in here. Fort Simpson, like ATRs. Just want to see if my drone will actually fly here, just at the park, because there's airports nearby. Yeah, maybe the airport's far enough away that it will go. Take off. Looks like it will. Yeah, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show you guys much here because of all the smoke. Like, visibility is probably half a kilometer, maybe a kilometer. There's multiple fires in the area, nothing too close, like we're not in immediate danger or anything, but when the wind shifts, all the smoke drifts in and it kind of ruins your day, because you want to be able to see the sights and, you know, look at the nice scenery. We wanted to go north on this road that goes up the Mackenzie Valley towards Wrigley. There's supposed to be some nice mountain views up there, and we're just not going to be able to see anything today. So, not really worth the drive. So we might just hang out at the RV for a bit here and decide what we're going to do. I think at any rate we're probably going to take off tomorrow morning, maybe even later today. We'll see how it goes. I do have to work on some videos though, so I should probably just hang out for the day. Laura and Sydney aren't enjoying the smoke much. They're just hanging out in the trailer. Probably just going to close all the windows and throw on the AC and see how she goes. The Icebreaker Lounge and the Pandaville restaurant.
What?
Laura finally got her Chinese food.
I should have just got a big plate of broccoli.
I like these the best. Another twin otter. Land of the people. Well, we're just out walking here. We've kind of been cooped up in the trailer all day with smoke, horse flies, and hot weather. There's we're just walking by this area here. Our campground's right over there. The girls just walked down this trail down to the river. You can at least see across the Mackenzie River now. Horseflies get pretty bad when it's hot out. I don't know if you guys have experienced horseflies. Swarms of them, but they can be fun. They definitely like the hot weather. There's a whole bunch of these little flies that kind of swarm your face, but they don't bite a whole lot. There's a boat crossing the river down there. There's a bunch of bigger boats up there. I'm not sure if those are for freighters, barging, or what the deal is there.
Yeah. You see?
Pretty muddy out there?
Yeah, it's super slippery.
So here we are on the mighty Mackenzie River, just below the confluence of the Liard River. And if this is actually a little better view, you look across the Mackenzie here, it's got to be close to a kilometer. And if you go up here, that's the Mackenzie, and then where that point of land is and that bank, that's the Liard River coming in right there. So you may have seen in the video the other day, we crossed the Liard River in a ferry, and it was a big river. Like, it's a major crossing. It takes a while, so it's actually small compared to the Mackenzie. So Right here, you're looking at the second largest river in North America, largest river in Canada. You can just see it slowly moving out there.
I'm washing my feet.
Right above the river is the town of Fort Simpson, right here. See the buildings. There's gold here.
Fool's gold, babe.
Yeah, you can
Silver.
see it reflecting in the sun at certain angles. But I'm sure people will be down here panning.
Yeah.
It was real. Right there. Well, it's not very deep there, is it?
But you never know where it's
Yeah. You can't tell because the yard's so dirty.
Look at how he bites the water.
Thanks for watching, everyone. In our next episode, we'll hit the road again and take you into northern British Columbia, where we struggle to make it back into civilization. Soon we find cooler weather, cleaner air, along with some epic hiking and views in the northern Rocky Mountains.